Role misalignment occurs at three different times. One is when you are going towards a role out of thinking that that title will make your life easier and make you happy, where you have put the weight of happiness on achievement of XYZ status versus the happiness coming from the journey of doing the work day in and day out. And that is fundamentally a gap in understanding yourself and avoiding what is making you feel insecure, a little bit of an imposter, when you're not doing the work of actually processing what's going on in you, and you're hoping that some external variable will bring you happiness. So that is one case of role misalignment. Role misalignment also occurs when the organization and you potentially have grown out of you and that role being the right fit. Change is constant. It's not something that we can kind of fight. And to think that the needs of the organization and your personality, intellect, capacity, skill set are always going to be aligned and you can just stay there is most times incorrect. And there comes a point where you no longer are showing up with fullness of energy, the craving, the learning. You have gotten to a level of boredom and stagnation in the role because you have mastered the role and operating in a consistent default way of being versus pushing yourself into a growth stage. That at the same time that the organization has changed and perhaps you have grown past that role. So it's just like, it's not in alignment that way. And so that's, again, back to the fundamentals of how we look at things at the individual, the team, and the organizational level. Without awareness of what's going on in the organization, it's very hard to just address what's going on in kind of like terms of identity and role at the individual level. So it is really important to understand what is needed from that role and what is that human's relationship to that role that they have been in. And then the third case is that you are allowed to stay in a role without any checks and balances. I'll go to the example of, I think everyone's heard the story of you get a pet dog and you never reprimand it because you just want to love on it and care for it, and you give him no expectations. That dog starts chewing everything, having accidents in the house. It is a chaos if you have a pet and you don't give it expectations and you don't have some types of checks and balances or accountability. And you're just like, I just want to take care of it. I just love my pet. You hear that parallel sentiment in the workplace of, I really love Anna Marie. She's been here so long. I just care so deeply about her as a person. I'm just going to let her kind of ride out her career here. Or, she's going through a lot at home. We're just going to let her be here. When you have lost that clear expectation, that accountability, the structure to the role, and you're just allowing someone to be in it, allowing someone to be into it. Like, this is an organization. We got stuff to do together. We're not supposed to just show up and hit the easy button. There is no joy that comes from hitting the easy button. There is a time and place where you have to rest, recalibrate. Perhaps you're not working at 110%. That's not hitting the easy button. That is doing what is necessary so that you can go back and do the hard, fulfilling work that brings you joy and puts you in a growth mindset. So that third misalignment comes from an organization thinking they're caring about someone by giving them a place to just be. And instead of being like, you know what, Anna Marie, I don't have a role for you here anymore. Let me help you find your next opportunity and scaffold you around that journey, or just simply package them up and send them on their way, because that's typically the most healthy response.